Greetings from Bible Center Church on this spring day. My name is Steve Corbin, and I'm pleased to share the next few moments with you. Each morning, I wake up and watch the Weather Channel so I know what to expect for the day. Most of the time, they get it right, saving folks from harm or worse on those days when bad weather is looming. Just this morning, I saw pictures from a destructive storm in Mississippi. Thankfully, from what I could see, there were no injuries. Have you ever wished there was a weather channel for life? You could simply turn it on in the morning and someone could tell you what emotions you would experience today, where to go to avoid a harsh conversation, and when to take shelter should someone disappoint you. In Mark 4:35 through 41, the writer tells us about an experience the disciples had with Jesus. They were in a boat crossing the Sea of Galilee when a furious squall erupted, threatening to sink the boat and place in peril those on board. Jesus, who was resting, was wakened by the disciples, asking him if he cared about their lives. "Teacher, don't you care if we drown?" Jesus got up and commanded the weather to be silent, and the weather obeyed immediately, and a calmness surrounded the boat. Isn't it interesting that in the midst of the storm, the disciples, in their heart, knew Jesus cared about them and would fix the problem, but in their human urge for immediate satisfaction, they still asked him to fix the problem right then. We know in our hearts that Jesus cared about the disciples and you and I in the midst of our storms. Jesus says to us, cast our cares on him because he loves us. God invites us to share our concerns, our worries, and the silent heartaches that keep us up at night and lead to silent tears. The Old Testament tells of King David crying out to God for relief. Can I tell you that God wants to heal your heartache in an amazing and supernatural way? Isn't it also of interest that in the calm after Jesus stilled the storm, he asked of the disciples why they were afraid and lacked faith? Perhaps Jesus asked the question not in rebuke, but in a way to remind the disciples that they did have faith, but needed to rely on that during the moment of testing. After Jesus calmed the storm, the disciples were even more amazed at Jesus' power. Mark says they respected him even more and said, "Who is this that even the wind and the waves obey him?" In the midst of our current circumstances, I want to encourage you not to let the evil one use your emotions to create additional burdens on your already heavy heart, but rather let your faith be your guide, knowing Jesus cares about you, your family, and those who are suffering. I trust you are weathering the storm as best you can. And if you are not, we at Bible Center Church stand ready to help you in any way we can. We are praying for you, we love you, and we trust that when we look back at this season, we will see how God quieted the storm during these days.